Hey guys, this is NTom, and welcome to the first HFC movie commentary of the year, and we have picked a doozy for the first one. This is Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. Obviously, I've got Richy with me for this one.
Of course.
Of course, yes. And also, we have a fellow Layton fan. It is the one, the only, the Smoothers.
Yay, hi, Merry Christmas.
He doesn't know it's 2016 yet. Oh, larks. Alright, here we go. You guys ready to sync up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everything you guys will need is in the video description, so here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Doing it slightly different since Smooths is here, don't worry, it's all in the video description. But, Eternal Diva, actually canon to the Layton series. It's not just something you can, leave and forget. This comes in between the first prequel game, Last Spectre, sorry, the name almost escaped me there, and Miracle Mask, I believe. Isn't that right, Richy?
Yes, that is indeed correct. Obviously, Last Spectre, or Spectre's Call, or Spectre's Flute, depending on which country you're from. But I'm pretty sure Miracle Mask is the same in all countries, so you'll be able to figure it out.
What's your take on the Layton series, Smoothies? Like, what games have you played and such?
I played everything but the last one that came out, which doesn't relate to this movie at all. So I know all the lore that relates to this film. So that's good.
It's all good. It's all good. What do you think of Spectre's Call, mate?
Spectre's Call was it was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
It didn't overstay its welcome like the one before it.
Oh, Richie, you're a big fan of Lost Future, aren't you?
I do. I loved it, but I don't know. Everything was just a bit too epic.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. You probably won't enjoy Azran Legacy then, if that's your sticking point.
Oh, I know. The two games before Azran Legacy set it up so much.
Oh.
Well, I mean, technically, seeing as Eternal Diva is canon, it is part of Azran Legacy in a way.
Yeah.
For anybody who's played Miracle Mask, bit of a spoiler, but something relating to Eternal Diva is part of Miracle Mask.
Yeah, I was, shocked to see it, because I was not expecting any kind of, outward influence on the games.
I wasn't either, but it made me so happy.
That was hardly a spoiler, so I think you're safe.
We may allude to, stuff in the games, but we'll try not to say, oh, the entire town was sausages in men suits. Oh man, this is, or this was, I should say, a kind of Sonic OVA moment for me, because I always enjoyed, the cutscenes in the Layton games, and to have, a full feature-length version of that kind of blew my mind, honestly.
Yup. And what I'm most excited about this film is that all the characters are on model.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, but the first two games, the cutscenes, they go way off model, and it bugs me so much.
Well, you're an animator, aren't you, Smoothie? So that is, again, another sticking point for you.
I also am sort of a stickler for storytelling.
Yeah.
So this moment right here, what we just saw was a cold opening. Love cold openings, where it's just it sets it up for you, and you don't even know who these characters are, but you see it happen, you're like, oh, I understand what this film's gonna be like.
Don motherfucking Paolo. Not voiced by Christopher Miller for some reason in this.
God knows why. Maybe they just sort of didn't want to pay him that much.
You get one role and that's it.
Because, I mean, the thing is that the whole dubbing process for Eternal Diva is very, very interesting. Because whereas what happened with pretty much all the games was that it went to America to get dubbed first, and then it came to the UK to have the specific stuff happen with, Maria Darling as Luke. Eternal Diva actually came to the UK first. So that's why you end up with a completely different voice for Emmy and, another character that we will come across later on, because, partially because at this point in time, Last Spectre / Spectre's Call hadn't come out in the West, so they didn't already have a voice actor for either of those two characters.
Okay.
But also because it came to the UK, they just went with random people, and one of them I prefer to the actor that then went on to be in the games. The other one, I can give or leave, really.
What's your take on the voice acting in the Layton series, Stephen?
I much prefer the American ones. I much prefer Rouge the Bat as Luke.
Oh, it's always Sonic with you.
We sort of dismissed it, but that whole first section, Luke is like talking about everything.
Yeah.
Sort of like introducing the world to us. Completely unnecessary. You could have just showed us all of that. Sorry, but I'm a fan of show, don't tell.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it bugs me. Don't like it.
I mean, I think probably the main reason that they went for it is because they were putting it in cinemas in Japan. I think, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they wanted to kind of try and catch people up to speed. Obviously, there are better ways of doing it, but considering it's a video game first and foremost, I think they thought that was kind of the best way of going about it.
I don't know, they showed everything. They showed Professor Layton teaching a class with all of these, like, artifacts. I'm like, oh, he's probably teaching archaeology. I get that.
Yeah, you know, with all the adventures he goes on, it is very easy to forget that he is a professor of archaeology, and he teaches in a class. There's Luke in his prequel trilogy attire. Oh, it's the dude from Diabolical Box!
Oh, shit!
Yes. There are quite a few little cameos like that.
Oh, I love this slight rejig of the main theme.
Well, I mean, the song itself is called Records of Memory, or Record of Memories, or something along those lines. It's amazing, I love it.
The guy who did the music for the first Layton game, he worked on what's it called?
Cloud.
Dark Cloud, that's right.
Dark Cloud 1 and 2. If you play Dark Cloud 2, which is known as Dark Chronicle, in, I think Europe, it may have been changed for America, you can pretty easily tell that it's Layton as fuck. Oh, I love this song.
You know, this another thing that bugs me about this is that you have all these crazy looking characters, look like they could be drawings for like Pixar characters or something, and you have this anime as fuck character.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you don't match.
And then you get to like Layton, who's pretty much a bobblehead.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, yeah, Janice, who's the character that we see before us here, is very odd in the Layton universe, because pretty much all the other characters are kind of drawn in the kind of French animation style, like the triplets of Belleville.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, whereas Janice and that girl that was in that picture, very much not the case.
Kawaii as fuck, mate.
Yeah.
She's Kawaiian.
It's like if you took the complaint that a lot of people have towards the character models in Frozen, with like the huge bug eyes, to an extreme.
Another reason I prefer Tangled. Yeah, this is London, alright.
Yeah, that's definitely London.
How can you tell?
It's raining.
Just a guess.
This game, this film.
Yeah. Oh, it's Granny Riddleton.
Oh shit. Yeah, this film, I guess because it's such a shorter format than a game, I guess they spent, obviously, much more time on the story. It's way more complex than any of the other stories for the games, in my opinion.
Yeah, like in the games, it's just like, Luke, we are going to search for a thing. We're in the process of searching for a thing. Oh, we have found the thing. Roll credits.
And by the way, everything that we've seen so far is not in order. We're 2 years in the future, then we go back 2 years where Luke's like younger. Is it 2 years? I think. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. And now, so then they were in the theater, and now we're going back even further to before they're at the theater, and it's like, was this Pulp Fiction? Just go in order.
Yeah, you open the briefcase and it's Don Paolo's soul.
Yep.
Oh, the Layton mobile. I love it.
Me too. It's a lot like my car. It's red and shitty.
Come on, the Layton mobile is not shitty. It can fly in Unwound Future / Lost Future.
Oh, that was with an upgrade. That doesn't count.
It still can do magical things.
Okay, fine.
Shitty doesn't mean bad. Okay, character. It has character.
Okay. We call it rustic, mate.
Okay, sure. Shitty.
Oh, Emmy's voice in this, do not want.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emmy here is voiced by a lady called Emma Tate, I think, who hasn't really done a whole lot. I mean, it's mostly been kids' shows and I think the most recent thing was the character called Hazel in the Shaun the Sheep movie.
Which is up for an Oscar.
Is it?
Yes!
Holy shit.
It's not going to win.
No.
It's definitely not going to win, but it's surprising that it's there.
Oh, the puzzle music.
Yep. This is from the first game.
Yep.
Or second, technically.
No, I think every game had a different puzzle theme, which is great because it gives each of them their own identity.
The second one was the first one, but with more bells and whistles.
A remix, as we call it in the trade.
Kind of.
Ah, my encyclopedia of anime characters.
No, it's how to draw a manga.
I had one of those growing up.
Oh no, Tom.
Oh, bug eyes everywhere. Man, I wish the UK was this picturesque.
Oh, come on, White Cliffs of Dover.
Oh, is this actually meant to be Dover?
I don't know that it's explicitly meant to be Dover, but come on, it's basically the White Cliffs.
That angel's got no arms.
So, hey, we don't judge, okay?
Now, I will point out that there are numerous songs that do actually return from the games. Obviously, we've had, like, the main theme, but, like, one of the puzzle themes returns,
and
various other songs appear. And on the soundtrack, they're actually credited as from Game X, which is quite cool.
So annoying when you have a soundtrack and it doesn't really specify, like, where the remix and whatnot came from.
That's not how they're labeled on YouTube. On YouTube, like, I think it's like Puzzle 004, The Plot Thickens is what it's called.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Uploader Man. That's really helpful and specific.
Thankfully, Wikipedia is much more helpful.
Okay, now we're sort of back where we started.
Oh, she's singing some ancient kind of Latin language, which is really just Japanese because they couldn't be bothered to create a language.
Yeah, I think it is, must be.
It is Japanese, yeah, because if you go on, like, the videos of the songs on YouTube, I'm pretty sure people have put up translations. I mean, I've certainly seen one for kind of like the main big song that Janice is going to have to sing at some point or other, which I think might actually be in the credits, but either way.
That's Perfume.
You're going to bring her back to life by singing.
I have to say, this it's very typical of, like, a Greek tragedy, which is sort of what I think it's going for. Also just general opera. Just everyone dies and it's miserable, but you've got kind of sort of a random sense of magic somehow.
But that's stupid, Luke, and we don't believe in fairy tales.
Professor Layton's series is always like, we must rely on having a clear mind and using logic. And then there's some twist that defies logic. And it's like, fuck you, man.
Just one of life's many lessons, Luke. People will lie to you.
Also, I have to say, if Layton had been kind of explaining all of that to Luke during the performance, I think I would have killed him if I was sitting next to him.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
it would have been just like, shut up! I'm here to watch the show!
Well, I feel sorry for the guys sitting behind him, personally. Why is no one else clapping?
Because they're all miserable gets.
So why did they decide to not go with American voice actors? Is it because they were like, they don't sound British enough, or...?
Well, no. Basically what happened was that, Manga UK, I think, got the rights to the, Manga Entertainment UK got the licensing to release the film.
Oh, no, I just meant in general for, like, even the games and stuff. Like, they replaced Luke's voice and...
Well, Luke's voice is the only one that they specifically replaced, and that's basically because when they focus tested Curious Village, the British audiences hated Lanny Minella's Luke voice. Mostly because the accent's awful, and it just sounds weird to our ears because we're used to kind of like, you know, normal British accents. and it was just horrible.
Yeah, if it doesn't sound like they're going to start vomiting tea and crumpets, I ain't interested, honestly.
So, because of that, it was like Luke's voice was so off-putting to the focus testers that they went and redubbed Luke's voice.
And now we finally learned that this is all a test for us to gain eternal life.
I want you to be a narrator for any future Layton games movies.
I'll just be like a little dialogue box at the bottom with my face in it.
Yeah, and so the story continues.
But my voice should be like something out of Banjo-Kazooie. Derp, 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 derp.
I don't want to be in a death trap.
And then they all go and basically make a death trap by trying to kind of escape, and just that's the worst thing you can do in an evacuation.
Well, goodbye.
I'm sorry, Richy, but if there's a fire, I'm not going to calmly walk to the door.
Well,
look at this. Oh no! Climb over the seats!
Climb over the smouldering wreckage of your loved ones.
That's sort of like a continuity error. Like, it drops when people are on it. Why?
I think it's because they were trying to escape, is the point.
It's just fitting the herd.
Grosky, I love his design so much.
Because they needed like a big, strong inspector guy in the prequel trilogy who wasn't Chelmy. Because, you know, chronologically speaking, Layton can't meet Chelmy until Curious Village. Actually, no, not even Curious Village. Diabolical Box, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Grosky is kind of like an excellent way of creating a counterpoint to Chelmy.
Yeah.
Because Chelmy is obviously so serious and just you're kind of that type of typical policeman that you think of. But Grosky is very hyperactive and tries to be the hero, and it's great.
Now, if you've played the games, you could probably guess like what this music is alluding to.
I was waiting to say that myself. Yep. If you've played The Last Spectre before watching this film, hearing this music will give something away.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, if you look at the soundtrack titles, it will also give it away.
Yeah, because he's on the soundtrack front cover.
Also, if you look at spoilers, it will give it away every time. The armless angel shows the way. Oh, it's forming into a puzzle, Luke. Oh my god, it's fucking Unicron.
No, it's a ship. Which I just think is just like the most ridiculous and therefore brilliant thing that they could have possibly done.
Oh, it's so Layton. I imagine if you turned up late, how awkward would that be to see the building sailing away? No, well, that's the last thing I was expecting.
And, like, would you even call the cops? Or would you just be, like, jealous? Or
I'd just go home and go to bed, really.
Well, I mean, you'd probably just think, am I dreaming? I'm probably dreaming. I'm just going to go to bed.
Hang on, am I in a Layton game? Yeah. Sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their noses. Oh, fucking Tumblr nose. What an odd series we have on our hands here.
I know, but that's what makes it so wonderful.
Yeah, it's the eccentric charm that we Brits are known for. I'm glad we can say that so we can get away with being annoying.
You didn't make the film. This film's a parody of you. It's not worshipping you.
No, Layton's not that vindictive or petty.
But then, Stephen, you do seem to forget that we Brits do tend to just regularly take the piss out of ourselves. Therefore, even sort of being a parody, it's still kind of being like, yeah, we rule.
Oh yeah. Should have really put on some tea for when we were recording this, but no, I had to stick with water instead. She gonna push him. Beware little girls standing in the shadows. They'll try to kill you every time. Oh, he's a villain.
Yeah, it's totally not suspicious in the slightest.
Oh no, that's important.
Ah, 2 candles remain. Guys, the good news is, if his fingers get tired, if his hands get tired, he can just use his nose.
That's very true.
Dun 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 dun, it's like a woodpecker.
I like how he sparkles as he falls.
It's comedy!
Well, we Brits call it black humour.
You see his little dang old legs wiggling around.
Oh, this is stupid, but I love it.
It also completely epitomises Grosky. Now, fun fact, that lady who just spoke there, I can't remember the name of the character, but I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point.
Yeah.
But she is voiced by lady who was in Miranda as Stevie, Sarah Hadland. Which obviously probably makes not a lot of sense to so many people, but she's rather popular, to be honest. And she was an excellent part of the Miranda sitcom. And the character is called Celia.
Stephen, you have no idea what we're talking about here, do you?
Nope!
It's a UK sitcom featuring a very tall lady.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And Sarah Hadland is her rather small, hyperactive friend.
You know, it's a counterpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, those eyes are the size of saucers. Like, just compare her to Layton.
It is balmy. But what's rather amusing is that Janice is also voiced by Emma Tate, who voices Emmy in the film, which is rather odd, but not so bizarre when you think about the fact that Lanny Minella voices so many characters in the Layton universe. Because she's then went on to be the voice of Emmy in the games, and obviously in the American dub was voicing Luke at the same time.
And Flora.
Yep, that too.
Oh, it sort of bugged me when Professor Layton, he always offers his assistance to a beautiful lady in need. I'm like, that's not very gentlemanly at all, in my opinion. You should be helping out everyone.
Well, he's being chivalrous. That's part of being a gentleman.
Chivalry.
Well, you're a modern gentleman, Stephen, aren't you?
Yes.
He's just trying to be nice. He helps everyone, really. Oh god, does anyone know how to read sheet music?
I used to. I can't anymore.
But don't worry, that's not the actual puzzle. This is just playing the music.
Which I think is just an absolutely ingenious way of including the puzzle music. It's just like... I mean, also just including the puzzles in this film. Like, you wouldn't think that they would be able to incorporate this stuff easily into a film atmosphere, but they managed it, and it's wonderful.
That's why I think it's like the best video game adaptation, because it just does it so fluidly, and the games incorporate like story and gameplay so fluidly, so it just makes, natural sense to make a feature-length movie.
Exactly, and I should also point out that this particular puzzle music is puzzle number 001, Puzzles Reinvented, which is from Unwound/Lost Future.
Fuck yeah, buddy.
The puzzle is, go look at the oldest thing that you can see. Professor Layton's like, well, I know what the oldest thing is I could see. And so he's going to that room to go see it. And the camera has shown it, the screen direction has shown it to us twice now. I watched this with Rebecca, and she guessed it. So I was pretty proud about that. But I have a stickler sort of thing about the answer to this. is that technically when the Big Bang happened, everything was created at the same time, so every bit of matter is the same age. So, fuck you, science.
That is very true.
Now, I originally thought it was some sort of fossil, because, Layton archaeology, but no, it's the stars in the night sky.
But, I mean, the main problem that I have with the answer to this puzzle is that surely you could be standing outside and you would still be looking at the sky. But that doesn't seem to be what he wanted to be the correct answer, which is a bit ridiculous.
Well, there are puzzles in, the Layton games which are like, oh, you have the correct answer but not in the correct context. Oh, there was a card that you were supposed to select, but it was hidden, and you weren't even to know that you could circle this particular card.
That's even worse than Ace Attorney.
Yeah. I just want to present the fucking thing. Let me present it. And now we begin Puzzle 002.
And the music for this one comes from Last Spectre.
Yes.
And it's so good. It's my favorite track in the whole film right here.
I liked Last Spectre a lot, because it was like, it had to dial things back, like in terms of scale, but I don't know, I just found it a very cozy sort of game.
I think I was more frustrated with it than anything else, just because it felt so restrictive after Lost Future, but didn't quite have the same charm as Curious Village did, so it didn't sit quite as well with me as it probably should have done. Still enjoyable, certainly nowhere near as bland as Miracle Mask, but that is a problem for another day. I will try not to moan about that game too much.
Okay, so we're looking for, what was it, the biggest crown on the ship?
Yes.
I think it's, what do you say, the biggest crown you can see?
I think it was the biggest yeah, it was the biggest crown. Now, this one is actually a lot easier for the audience to figure out, I suppose, than the Sky one. The Sky one's a little bit it's a little bit of a pernickety answer, but this one, you have definitely already seen the answer. And it's much more obvious.
When the ship was taking off, its name was on the side, so...
Well, that too, but also you have seen what it looks like on the ocean, and that should give it away.
But my answer was the right one, Professor. No, Luke, I assure you it's mine.
It's always Layton's. Apart from when it's not, but...
Even then it will always turn out to be Layton's. Haha, I planned it like that. There can only be one. Well, that's kind of big, but probably not what he was going for.
No.
Just goes at his own pace, does the movie. It's nice and calm.
I mean, I think it's a very good representation of how, Layton deals with puzzles. He's very much just we'll just roll with it, be fine.
All the shit was the crown, okay.
Yeah.
I knew that, but I had to play dumb. Not exactly hard.
Though I don't know why then, well, I suppose to be able to see the biggest crown you have got to leave the ship, but that's also a little bit pernickety.
Ugh, NPCs trying to have backstory.
Yeah, and there's more of that really soon, which is completely unnecessary.
Well, it's just got a good justification for them wanting the secret of eternal life.
Sure, but, I don't know, write it better. Rah, me Steven, me want good writing.
Yeah, professional writers, fucking write it better. Professor Steven and the search for writing.
Yeah.
I'll just get on the boat, Luke. I'm ambiguously good.
His fucking hat. This character, just everything about him, yeah.
He's like pumpkin trousers.
Well, he said earlier that he only has like 6 months to live, so, I mean, I can't really blame his attire.
Just dressed as a clown. People will remember me as Bozo. God, the fucking foreheads in this movie. It's like Code Lyoko all over again.
Thank you for putting that back in my head.
Oh, you're welcome. Seriously, Boats, Crown, how are you guys not getting this?
God, he didn't look alive. Just looked like a puppet the way he turned like that.
It's like that classic Simpsons versus modern Simpsons joke.
No.
Yeah, with the 1,000 frames of animation from Marge turning in the supermarket.
Oh, that, yes, amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have explained that better instead of saying, oh, you remember this thing? I'm not going to give you reference.
Yeah. How did you come here all by yourself, little girl? Well, this old man that I've never really met invited me.
Okay. Seems legit. Oh, I hear some familiar music.
Yes, I believe this is from... It's either Diabolical Box or Curious Village, because it's
Curious Village, you're climbing the tower.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the Looming Tower, specifically.
Yeah, well, we did the playthrough of Curious Village not that long ago, Richard.
Indeed we did, yes. Sorry, it's the quietness of the volume on my end.
It's cool.
But I will say that we did have a song from Pandora's Box turn up, which was An Uneasy Atmosphere, which was the one just before this particular song.
Man, they're just like taking stuff from the games. It's cool. We don't even have to come up with an original score.
There's some.
Yeah.
There's some original stuff, but yeah, like more than half of it's from the games, which I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's remix. It sounds great.
I mean, yeah, and also I think it's an actual orchestra, which is always when it's the most impressive, really.
Most of the scores, yeah.
Depends, really. It can be orchestrated and sound great, or it can be orchestrated and sound bland.
Well, that's true, but I think most of the Layton music, whenever it's been orchestrated, it's just always sounded absolutely amazing.
Well, yeah, because it's got a great melody behind it.
It's true.
This whole scene is NPCs trying to make themselves worthy of your care.
I like that guy's beard. It's pretty lustrous.
Why do you want to live forever? Oh, because I want to live forever. Why do you want to live forever? Oh, because I want to live forever.
I want to play football.
Yeah, this guy wants to... I want to play football.
Well, wouldn't you live forever just with a battered knee? Yeah, but that would just make you live forever. It's not a youth restoration thing, is it?
Maybe?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I guess because we're going by the assumption that her friend came back to life and became a child, that's what happens.
Maybe. It's kind of eternal life, juice stuff, never makes any sense.
Why do myths have to be always so fucking vague?
It's because nobody knows what the hell they're talking about.
I guess. Oh, she's dead. If only there was some kind of eternal life serum to bring her back. Thanks for helping, Luke.
Yeah, he's just having a whale of a time, isn't he? Although I have to say, I suppose he's not really going to be much use in terms of rowing, because he's not really got the strength to do that.
And here's when Luke realizes that the ship is the Crown, and it's just like, oh, shut the fuck up, please.
We all noticed that 5 minutes ago, Luke. Oh, this theme.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh. Unfortunately, the people on the ship have now got limited life. 3, 2, 1, dead. Why'd you make us row in the first place, then? Fine, whatever. Oh, Growski.
So I'm assuming that those sharks have things on their nose because they're like mind-controlling devices?
Or robots.
I think it is the mind control side of things. It's something to do with making them not actually be that dangerous, I think. Obviously, they were still trying to kill Inspector Grosky there, but I don't think they were ever actually going to manage it.
And they were threatened by his manhood, is the thing.
Well, yes, exactly.
It's just too fucking manly, I can't stand her. Look at that chest there. Things can't go 5 minutes without blowing up in a Layton-themed thing.
Well, especially not when it's a massive kind of building or transformer of any description.
Gee, I hope nobody was in the bathroom.
Yeah. Imagine if your last moments were taking a shit.
Well, Tom, what about that one character in Jurassic Park?
You always gotta bring up Jurassic Park.
I've hardly ever brought up Jurassic Park.
Shut up, it's the point I'm trying to make it. It's okay, everyone's dead but we're alive, and that's the main thing. Dubious. Okay, your next puzzle is look for the biggest source of fire on the ocean.
How very curious.
Yes. Shame we didn't cut to a village, because that would have been perfect.
Oh yeah, Emmy's in this story, isn't she? Can't help but notice that you're just as anime as me.
Ugh, you're not the voice I know and love. Well, tolerate, I guess.
Is that the cat?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the cat. Oh god, what's she called? Claudia. That's the name of the cat.
Who, I don't think we brought this up in our Curious Village commentary, who is male.
Is Claudia male? What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what TV Tropes says, and TV Tropes never lies.
The cat doesn't name itself or put a bow on itself?
It's true.
That'd be pretty cool if it could, though. Dawn rises. New puzzles on this fantastical island await.
Dawn of the first day.
Is that the fucking diabolical box?
Yes, that is the Elysian box.
Wait, what? Why is it... Wait, it was here?
It was here all along.
Why? Oh yeah, that's how it starts, doesn't it?
Well, that is how Pandora's box starts. Yes, although this takes... Oh yes, well, because this takes place before Pandora's box, and this is where the Elysian box is.
Oh, WTF.
That's pretty cool.
There's like a load of different, cameos and tidbits that you just have to look in the background to notice.
Well, exactly, yeah.
I like how that diagram of a human body is like a realistically shaped person.
Well, imagine if it had, massive eye holes. It's like a really kawaii kind of skeleton. Do you even have a mouth, Professor?
Somewhere in his beard.
Oh, try and find it. That's your next expedition, Layton. Shit's all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there he is.
There he is again, yes.
I think this is the only time that we've ever seen Schrader's, fuck me. It's the only time you ever see Schrader in this film, and it's just kind of like, if you've never played the games, it's kind of like, who the fuck is this guy, and why is he important?
It's weird to see him out of bed, honestly.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Well, thanks for that, Captain. Did your years of experience tell you, though?
Yeah.
Oh, my life's ambition has come to fruition. It's a stone! By God, it's a stone!
I have to say, you know, when, like, I heard them calling the place Ambrosia, like, my brain just went, what, like the custard?
Yeah.
Which is just like, so now whenever I see Ambrosia custard, I think of Layton, and whenever I hear the word Ambrosia in Layton, I think, oh, what about custard? Which is just like the most weird connection ever, but there we go.
Hershey, Layton, Ambrosia, custard. That was a joke.
I want candy all of a sudden. Now, slight spoilers, but we're looking at some Azran shit right here, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
That's all I'm going to say for now. If I said any more, it would be a spoiler. Okay, that's not something you see every day.
None of us noticed that.
Shit, if I got wound up on a beach, that'd be the first thing I'd notice.
You do know that beaches have wind. There's probably sand all over that.
Alright, the next puzzle is to find the sandwich that has no sand in it. Good luck.
Alcohol reference in my children's movie?
No, it's fruit juice.
Oh no, it's wine. And also, it's like, dude, seriously, you just made such a mess on that beautiful tablecloth. What is wrong with you?
The puzzle was to find the non-sandy sandwich, it's fine. Luke just staring off into the distance. Will I ever go on a non-dangerous adventure?
This whole section could be cut out and it'd be the exact same movie. We don't need to see them standing around and enjoying, like, the breeze and the sunshine.
I don't know. I think it adds a certain gravitas to the whole movie.
I mean, I suppose, in a way, it's a character moment.
Yeah.
It's just sort of there to develop the relationship between Layton and Janice a little bit more. I think that's the purpose, anyway.
Well, it's not doing a very good job.
Here, it's a stone. I don't like your stone. I'll find stones of my own, thank you.
It's a shell, Tom.
Fuck off, don't care. Stone, shell, all the same. Put it up to your ear, hear a puzzle. Oh, that's my jam. Poorly hummed, what a terrible cover.
Needs to have the words, I think.
That does not remind me of a puzzle.
Oh no, it reminds me of a puzzle, specifically one which is in Curious Village and I think also Last Spectre and involves a raft.
Ah, yes.
What is everybody's opinion on Luke's ability to talk with animals?
Richy, why don't you go first? I need a bit more time to formulate words.
Well, I mean, it's a bit ridiculous, but I'm totally down with it. It's not really that egregious. It's just sort of a slight adorable thing, and sort of in reality there are people who have a particular way with animals, so it's just a slight exaggeration on that, so I'm fine with it.
I feel the same way about that, but what about the way it's presented where we actually hear some animals talking sometimes? And like...
I think in the games it's okay, just because it's rather amusing. It's definitely odd, but for some reason within the sense of the games it does just make sense. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it does.
It's just a crazy anime thing that you go with. In the first game, in Curious Virgin, it was kind of more ambiguous, but you flash forward to like a fucking Azran Legacy, and it's like bark, 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 yes, I understand you, human.
Also, Beasley, but...
And in Miracle Mask, there's a lion that gives us 3 puzzles. Luke's like, oh, he's having trouble solving this puzzle, let's help him out. Like, what?
I get all my best puzzles from, animals and shit.
Maybe he's having a hard time solving it because he's a fucking lion.
Got no opposable thumbs or anything. All my puzzles had to be Rubik's Cubes, didn't they? Ugh. Why is there a fucking drill on that? Why am I asking?
All will become clear?
It will actually.
You don't sound very certain there, Richy. Puzzle number whatever. Survive being mauled by a pack of wolves.
Puzzle number 003, to be precise. Music's actually, I think, called Revolutionary Idea and isn't actually from any of the games.
Whoa.
Which is a first for the puzzle songs, I think.
Oh, we're going all Sherlock here.
It's so fucking dramatic where he just like the camera movement just twirling around him. It's so silly.
Well, in a good way, I think. Yes, you silly furry bastards. No, this isn't going to work. Copy the smart guy.
Yeah.
Quick pan on top of the fat guy in the pumpkin pants. Get as tall as you can.
Also, I have to say, I like how they're just like thinking, yes, getting on top of this thing is definitely going to get us away from the wolves. When they're going to be able to climb up those structures.
Luke is contributing nothing to this cage lifting. Also, how did Layton know how heavy the cages were going to be?
Well, they don't look particularly heavy, so...
Oh, copying the smart guy. Yeah, the wolves can just very easily get underneath that cage, and then it's a smorgasbord of humans. Oh, I'm so incredibly posh. Wow, nice job, Layton.
And they were doing so well, too.
It's spherical. Easily roll it back over. They haven't caught up to you yet. Okay.
Well, no, but they need to run. It's a Layton game, and much like Doctor Who, it needs a sequence where people are running for their lives.
Seriously, there's so much running. There is a ridiculous amount of running.
Yep.
If the wolves don't get it, it's the henchmen.
Also, it's very, very lucky that they found this kind of cabin/shed thing.
Professor Layton and the Curious Cabin.
Yeah, so this whole scene is in reference to a scene in Unwound Future. And I didn't agree with it then, and I don't agree with it now.
Aw, it's silly and it's fun.
I agree with it. Like, there are films where it's okay to be silly, but I feel like this one is like when a character is like saying you've got to think of things logically, and then when you do the impossible, it's like, well, that's contradictory.
I don't know. Whenever I need to get away from a problem, I just build like a fucking helicarrier.
Yeah.
But then I suppose if you think about it, it's very much in the same vein as Sherlock Holmes, or at least the later version of Sherlock that we have at the minute, of you kind of remove everything that is impossible, and no matter how improbable it is, it's going to be the answer. So even though this is completely ridiculous, it's perfectly fine.
Whenever a vehicle like this turns up, I can't help but think of the last thing you unlock in the third Donkey Kong Country game. Crazy. And there's that wonderful music.
Yeah, it's just wonderful.
Yeah, without petrol, we're fucked.
I don't know why I delivered the line this way.
That's just the way I was directed, Luke.
Well, okay, so they say that, Luke's voice was, I don't know, just wasn't the right type of... British. Like, whenever I listen to all the other American voice actors, it always sounds like an American impersonating a British voice.
Well, that's NPCs and side characters. Luke is a main character.
But Professor Layton is an American voice actor.
Well, yes, but his British accent sounds like a reasonable British accent. Like, nothing about it sounds off.
Yeah, or exaggerated.
Yeah, it just sounds quite natural.
But Layton, can you build anything, like, in a hurry that doesn't crash? Jesus Christ. Safe.
Did you get the license number on that thing?
Let's just take a cab back, Professor. Cue my theme music. Oh, wrong button.
Now, I shall point out that if you know that character already, you'll recognise who he is, and you'll know who voices him in the games, which is the absolutely wonderful Tim Curry.
Is that in all the games?
Yes.
Does he do it under a pseudonym in like Asran Legacy?
I don't think so.
Because I don't recall Tim Curry being in the credits.
He might have done, I don't know. But here, he's voiced by a guy called Jonathan Keeble, who has been in a variety of things. The one that most people on the internet might recognise is Zord in Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, right.
As well as, I think, being like the Professor or the Red Monkey in numerous Ape Escape games. But that's mostly it.
Oh, Zord the Cockney guy in Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
The fucking Cockney robot. Oh, that's a mouthful.
Yes, that one. And I'm probably in a minority on this, but I prefer Jonathan Keeble's voice for that particular character. If only because it sounds kind of right in terms of the age range. Whereas, like, Tim Curry sounds like Tim Curry. And you can never really get away from that.
I can't fault that logic, but what's your take, Stephen?
Logic of what, this puzzle?
Well, no, just the fucking... I can't mention his name, but the villain of the piece.
What about him?
In terms of voice acting.
He's okay. I don't know.
Oh, I enjoy this movie's take. Simple and to the point.
See, it was okay. I was more focused on this puzzle that all the other puzzles sort of like they give the audience an opportunity to sort of figure it out for themselves, but not this one.
Yeah, I think I actually tried doing this when I think Heldrug and I watched this together the first time we checked it out, and I failed this particular puzzle. The other ones I think I just about got right, but this one, no.
Well, it doesn't present it in a way that you could, really. And, yeah, I also like how this is a Japanese film, but you'd have to know some rudimentary English to solve that puzzle.
Seriously, I'm warning you. Oh, now look at you.
Don't go. Wait.
No, stop. Come back. What the hell's wrong with you, Herschel? If you're alive down there, just wait. We'll come and get you. My legs are broken. I don't have a choice.
No, there was a splash sound effect. That's how you know they're not dead. Unless that was their blood just going everywhere.
Well, considering how assholish those two particular characters were, it wouldn't be the greatest loss to the world if they did just go splat.
No, it's going to be like the more recent Willy Wonka film. They're going to come out drenched in garbage for the fun.
Yeah, nobody in this film dies. Unlike in Unwound Future, my god. The death toll in that game is ridiculous.
Surprised the last puzzle wasn't find out how many dead there are.
It's ridiculous.
There's my theme music. Glad we found the right button eventually. Ah, yes.
I haven't played Ozran Legacy yet, so I don't know who Jean Desclée is.
I do.
Ooh, it's a good one.
It is? Awesome.
I mean, it's perhaps very obvious in Ozran Legacy where it's going with Desclée, but it feels right, and I think because of the way the game ends, it just works.
Miracle Mask was like the most predictable thing ever.
I will say this about Desclée's identity: you will either love it or you will hate it because it's got another twist on top of it.
Great.
That could be said for any series that's deeply drenched in story and such. Thank God you didn't have to put your pants off. Whee!
This is great. I love it.
Oh, Grosky.
Who voices Grosky?
Inspector Grosky here is voiced by Stuart Organ.
Never heard of him.
Who is not really been in anything that most people would recognise. I mean, he's best known for portraying a character called Mr. Robson in Grange Hill on British TV, as well. But I mean, he's also apparently been Bazin in the Doctor Who story Dragonfire in 1987, and then he's been in a few other things. But he's mostly been doing theatre, I think, as of late.
Okay, what about the games?
You will have to bear with me for a moment whilst I find that information out.
Well, you're looking that up. I feel like the interior of this castle is decorated too similarly to the interior of the ship. And I don't know, if you're a little kid, you're not paying attention, but it could be a little confusing. I like for things to be distinct, but distinct enough to where even if you're not paying attention, you at least know you're in a different environment. I don't know, it bugs me.
Yeah, if you zone out and come back, I have moved from A to B instead of still being in a place that looks like A.
Yeah. Having already watched this film, looking at this girl, it's just so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
That's one thing the Layton series does well, melancholy.
Mm-hmm.
Bittersweet.
Oh god. The ending cutscene in Unwound Future is so good.
That cutscene is why Lost Future is my favourite of the Layton games.
Just that last bit.
That's it, that's all you need.
Also, I've found the answer
to
who Grosky is voiced by, but I'm now incredibly confused. Because, the Layton Wiki has it down as a guy called Walter Rigo being the voice actor for Grosky in the games. However, it states that Walter Rigo is also the voice of Desclée in the games, which cannot be right.
Well, won't be the first time Layton Wiki has made a mistake.
So I am rather confused by that information, but there we go.
Oh, she's going fucking crazy. That's fucked up. Oh, if I recall correctly, there's going to be some dynamic entry in a minute. On the count of 3, you pull out your piece and go to town.
Nice. I love that combo.
Yeah, the shove and trip.
Yeah, it always catches me off guard. I don't know, it's cool, it works.
No one suspects the old man. Now's my time to shine. Whoops.
I stayed. You should be rewarding me. I didn't try to flee.
Oh no. Not reinforcements, I never would have expected that. You know, Emmy, if you want to come down and karate kick someone in the face, now would be a good time. No, it's Luke! Apprentice time! Go!
Yeah, that was never going to end well.
Sure, but he's got moxie.
Well, yes, exactly, and that is why he is the Professor's #1 apprentice.
Ah, here we go. The slowest judo. Hiya!
Damn! Was that brick?
Maybe. In which, well, we know that Emmy is, like, ridiculously strong, so it very well could have been.
What's stronger, bone or brick?
In this case, it's kick.
I want to know what happened to his face.
Oh, believe me, you don't.
Sure.
Why not? I mean, that's the good part of the bittersweet end of the story, I guess. Come now, Janice, we have a story to unfold, a plot twist to unveil.
She looked at his hand like, what do you want me to do? I don't understand social interaction.
I don't understand the amount of time each of these, like, candles or lights has, because one diminished on the ship, but how long has it been since that point?
They fell asleep and slept all night, and now it's a new day, and it's about to be night again, so I don't know, every 24 hours? I don't know.
Once you see the twist, it must take an enormous amount of power.
Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose that it probably takes, like, every maybe week or so, potentially, considering what you will see soon enough with the history of what Mr. Whistler's been trying to do.
I seriously do not remember Descale having wolves in the games.
He never did, from what I remember. They just decided to have it here for whatever reason.
Didn't bring his giant spider this time.
It's never explained, but strongly implied, but those wolves have, like, little metal things in the ears, so I'm assuming that's some sort of, like, mind control device, and that's why I assumed that the sharks had those, too.
Yeah. Makes sense. Ah! Been an unspecified amount of time, quick, get in the thing!
How will I make my s'mores now?
Why didn't you bring your granddad with you then, if that was the point?
Well, yeah, but then the whole thing is that the ticket for the opera thingy was for her alone, so she couldn't really bring her granddad with her.
No, it'll look really tacky on me. Ah, it's awful.
Riding motorcycles is dangerous.
How did you get over there without none of them seeing you?
Because Emmy is magical.
That you are a pugcass, good sir.
To use a colloquial.
Well, if we keep stealing life, then we'll actually have eternal life, so shut up, Layton. Ah, thank you for playing my theme music while I explain this shit.
Well, of course, it's necessary, because it's this moment of the film where we're going to have the wonderful explanation of what the hell's been going on.
And it looks really tacky. You could have tried a bit harder. Descale don't give a shit in, like, any given situation. He's so smug.
Of course not. He thinks he's more intelligent than Layton.
Yeah. So, Richie, explain the science behind this.
Yeah, no science in the world can explain this away.
So it's just basically taking a copy of, like, brainwaves and shit and putting it into another person.
That is what they're trying to explain is the science behind this, but yeah, that's just not a thing.
I don't care how many logic rabbits you pull out of your hat, Layton, I'm not buying this one.
At least they're staying true to the games. The ending never makes any sense.
Well, considering the games have a very weird level of technology, I suppose it makes sense. But that's only because the game has got a really weird universe, so it's allowed to get away with these really weird things.
Which, by the way, I love their universe. I love how timeless it is. You never know what year they're in.
Exactly.
It's like the 80s or 90s meets modern day, it's great.
Well, I mean, it's got a bit of, like, Victorian era, it's got a bit of, like, the 80s, 90s, and then it has got, like, modern day, it's the weirdest combination.
And then you could go to, like, really rustic mining villages and shit.
Yeah, but somehow it just all comes together and is a cohesive unit, and it's wonderful.
And then you go to, like, fucking 80s and it's like, eat your hamburgers, Apollo.
Also, Mr. Whistler, don't think that's quite what he was wanting to do. I think Melina would probably be a little bit weirded out.
Also, the solution was to just unplug the machine.
Right?
Fucking Layton puzzles, always like presenting an option that's not immediately obvious. What have you done, you top-hatted bitch? Yeah, it's called dying, man. Deal with it.
He always has to, this is like a moment where Professor Layton is trying to be mysterious.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but he has to, because he has to build it up for dramatic effects, because he needs to do his point.
Well, yeah, you can see it, like, clearly in my hand. I wasn't even trying to hide it. So the little girl was, what? A dupe?
And so the little girl has has part of Melina in her, but not all of Melina, because it wasn't a perfect kind of transfer, shall we say. But in the case of Janice here, while it was only kind of half-half, because Janice was Melina's friend, she let Melina kind of stay over in her head.
Like a fucking sleepover. That's hard science for you. It was great being alive again, having an ice cream, like going in the park. Oh, this is so touching, so very, very touching, but now I'm bored. God, how do you support yourself on those stick-thin legs?
So yeah, the reason why DESYNC funds and all of this is like he wants something out of Melina. But it's never really explained why Melina knows the thing that DESYNC wants.
Huh. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I suppose it's just kind of the right person. Like, I think what is implied.
There is an implication at the end.
Yeah, it's the idea of reincarnation is implied. So that's how Melina knows the thing.
It's the theme of the whole film.
Yeah, it's how the story implies Melina knows this sort of stuff.
This is nice.
Yeah, I like this.
Teaming up with a terrorist, it was all for you. What, Descalay is a fucking terrorist, that's what he is.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh god, what shit's transforming or exploding there?
Well, it's funny you should mention that.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop him.
Bye. Right, this one's worth 60 Peckerats. Survive. Grr, we are wolves.
I'm going to play a song.
And I will own all the copyrights to it. I didn't understand a word of it, so I devised a plan to get Layton here so he could translate all this shit for me.
I mean, that would certainly be a good idea, but it seems Descalay didn't quite think it all through.
I like to think I solve puzzles in the same way Layton does, but I come up with the wrong answer instead. Yes, Luke, of the stars, thank you. That's such an anime thing. Like, oh, his ultimate power. His ultimate power?
It's sort of like what Han does with Chewie all the time, because nobody understands Chewie. Han just repeats everything Chewie says.
Yeah, that's right, Chewie.
When I was a kid, I always wanted Han to say something like, "What do you mean, stop repeating everything you say?"
Oh, that would have been so much fun, but I think it's probably a little bit too meta for...
Also, I was a kid.
Well... That was wonky. It's not doing its job properly.
Well, I mean, they're all a little bit wonky, but that one in particular was just taking the piss.
You can probably guess what they're meant to be at this point. They look like pipes. They are pipes. Descalay. Why?
Because, of course, we need a kind of giant robot of sorts for the finale. It's the only way a Layton game can end.
This movie has everything!
It's got walls, it's got operas, it's got fucking people dying, it's got everything you want. Yeah, you think that's tall enough?
We need to go taller, I think.
We need to be, like, freezing in the stratosphere. It's not even for my plan now, just sing for me.
It always kind of bothers me whenever an animator doesn't have any sort of musical background. He's only pressing one note at a time, so I have no idea why both of his hands are going.
I mean, it's funny you bring that up, because I think there was a really odd change in the animation that they made with Layton in particular. So there's the bit where Layton was playing on the piano. And I think what happened was that in the Japanese kind of version of the film, he plays with both hands, but in the kind of Western release, one of the hands was removed.
Wait, are we talking about Layton or Descalay here?
Layton.
Okay, so later in the movie.
I don't know why it was the case. I think there was some people speculating something along the lines of they were trying to show that Layton isn't necessarily that adept at playing the piano, which I'm pretty sure he probably would be anyway.
Puzzles, fencing, playing the piano, not so much.
But I have no idea why they did it at all, but apparently it's a thing. And obviously Descalay playing piano weirdly is also a thing.
Oh, I'm just going to throw a tantrum now. Play better, sing better. It's like something out of Dr. Seuss. Yes, that's right, I get it now.
You know what? I want to look at that image. I want to play it out note for note, upside down and right side up, and see if it actually does make this song.
Well, you need to be in the right spot in the ocean, otherwise nothing's going to happen.
I don't want anything to happen.
What's the point of playing a song that raises an ancient civilization if the ancient civilization ain't going to fucking raise?
Because we need a convoluted way of getting the giant transforming robot into this film.
Playing harder isn't going to make anything happen, Descolo. I want a child. If I play it louder and harder, things will happen.
I like how Descolo has sort of like a plan B. If it doesn't work, then I'll just destroy it.
Yeah.
By transforming the castle into a massive giant transforming robot.
Oh, again with the transforming robots. And now it's the end of Ocarina of Time. Good stuff. It's a really stupid plan, Luke. Don't pay attention.
Yeah.
How is he powering this? He doesn't have any Chaos Emeralds.
Uh...
The power of music. Dumb. Very dumb.
It looks so derpy, and yet I can't hate it.
It definitely looks like something Tim Burton came up with in a wet dream.
This was live action, like fucking Melina or Janice would be played by Helena Bonham Carter, and Johnny Depp would be Luke.
Yeah.
no, same character, same exact size as Johnny Depp, no CGI or anything.
Professor, the crown, it was the ship the whole time.
Ah, thank you, Luke. I say, have you been for a growth spurt lately?
Now, I will point out that this robot is called Detra Giganto.
Okay.
Which is rather hilarious, and it's actually got a theme which has appeared throughout the film, which is brilliant.
I hate trees most of all.
Yeah, saw that dirt.
Now, I know you're down there.
Also, we're about to get what is actually my favourite piece of music in the film.
Ah, yes.
Which, I'll just wait a little bit until we actually hear it, because it's just a wonderful, wonderful moment. It's completely ridiculous, but I love it.
Why doesn't Descolo just use his money to hire an excavation team?
Just get a load of shovels and start digging.
Dig it up. It's...
No, everything has to be bigger and fancier. Oh, foiled by like a 90-pound girl.
I'm kind of surprised she didn't fall off just because this thing was moving.
My robots don't observe the laws of momentum. Oh, here we go.
Indeed.
Can you go to the bathroom later, Luke?
And here we have Future British Gentleman, which is Luke's theme.
Finally.
The only point where Luke has a theme anywhere. I wish this was in the games, but it's not, but... Oh, it's such a wonderful piece of music.
What? No, it's not. It's horrible. I'm sorry, what, do you like it, Tom?
Yeah, I like it. It's got a little kind of crazy techno beat to it. Why don't you like it then? Come on, tell us that.
Because it doesn't match with anything else.
Well, Luke's the next generation. His generation dictates what music is going to be good or not.
Yes. Justin Bieber loving piece of trash.
Oh, now you've just made me imagine Justin Bieber in the art style of Professor Layton, and it's terrifying.
Also, there is no way in hell Luke would be able to survive all of this, but I don't even care.
Well, as long as his dad doesn't find out, he can survive anything.
Oh boy, do you think Luke tells his dad any of this shit?
And then we ran down a giant robot, and we saved a lady, and then we went for scones.
Of course you did, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's great.
Of course you did.
Now I have to go back to running this town and ignoring you. Goodbye.
Herschel, I want to thank you so much for getting this kid off of my hands.
Seriously, do you want to adopt him? It'd be much easier at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, and there goes Professor Layton. Boom.
It is kind of weird how Luke's dad just, lets Luke stay with someone, just an adult man for, 2 years.
It's a more innocent kind of world, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that Layton is a man that Luke's father trusts kind of entirely.
Yeah.
And Layton's just generally he's a true gentleman.
Yeah.
So he's the type of person that you can trust leaving your kids with.
Do you remember how hype it was at the end of Diabolical Box when, Layton and Anton got into that sword fight, and then it's been in almost every game since?
Well, I mean, I have to say, sort of, that fight sequence in Pandora's Box is the reason that I got into the Layton franchise. And I mean, I love this particular fight sequence as well, just because you've got Descalé with an actual sword, and then you've just got Layton sword fighting with a pipe. And it's just this is just wonderful and ridiculous, and I love it.
This gets a callback in Azran Legacy, if I'm recalling correctly.
Indeed it does, yes.
I think Azran Legacy, no spoilers obviously, made me appreciate Descalé a bit more, because until that point he was a little bit like a mustache twirling kind of parody of, the villain who's always one step ahead, but then they kind of humanized him a bit, which I thought was pretty good. Okay,
good. I'm glad that happens.
I think that Azran Legacy is kind of very good at dealing with all that sort of stuff. It's also a very good game to close off the Layton series. It ties together everything so well, from the characters to the overarching plots, and all of that just works. It's why it is up there as one of my favourite Layton games.
There are a few dickish puzzles, but overall I think it's much fairer and more enjoyable than Miracle Mask. Look at it upside down, isn't that always the way?
Didn't Descalé at some point get bored and say, I wonder what happens if you play it upside down?
Well, that's Layton for you, always thinking outside the box. I guess he's just letting Layton do all the work for him, no?
Well, I mean, I think he's kind of just oh, crud, I've been beaten.
I think he's also curious, because he's what if this works? Then I finally get to see Ambrosia.
I can just, scissor kick Layton off the deck or whatever. There were meant to be words here, but we couldn't afford it. Oh yeah, that's my jam. I guess we're just going to awkwardly stand down here while all the important shit happens then.
Well, I mean, they are all really not very important to the plot of this film, so...
Who's going to clean up that castle? Is it going to be Descalé? I don't think so.
Well, I think it's just going to just stay there, decimated, really. I mean, who's going to want to come here and fix it up? Also, it's a bit of an abomination anyway, so why would you want to fix it?
Are you sure we're not raising, a nuclear test site or something? I'm pretty sure, ancient artifacts aren't meant to glow green. Oh no, it's Chernobyl too!
Oh no, it's more CG.
Hyrule Castletown! Hooray!
Yeah, I think the one thing that this film did get quite roundly criticised for was its overuse of CGI. I don't think it's exactly that bad. It fits in all quite well, but yeah, reviewers hated the CGI.
That's the only negative thing IGN had to say about it, and they gave it a 6 out of 10, too much CG.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, this is the same IGN that has literally just given Mario and Luigi Paper Jam a 5.9, and yet they gave Sticker Star like an 8.5.
Oh no, but Sticker Star had original story.
Yeah, it was just... Ugh.
Well, let's not get into that. Can I just say that I love that Ambrosia takes like so many like historical things. Like I'm pretty sure I saw a little bit of Atlantis. There was like some Stonehenges, multiple Stonehenges about the place.
Well, I mean, it's ancient mythical civilizations, so you might as well just take from all the famous ones, really.
I love the design of this robot so much.
The goofy teeth on the front. Oh no, my mouth!
I want a little posable model of that thing, dude. It's really cool.
Did they ever sell Layton action figures?
There's a Layton you can get. And he's got like changeable faces and stuff.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about to get cryptic. What are you gonna do? You gonna catch the robot when it falls? I'm just programming it so it doesn't explode as much when it goes down.
So basically, it's gonna fall off a cliff, and when the top gets near the top of the cliff part, we'll jump. But, you know, momentum. It still doesn't work, momentum.
Oh my god, it's Sonic's ending in 06. Nice smile, Luke. And now the movie is ruined forever.
Oh no, it's fine, because it's going to end on a really, actually quite lovely and poignant note.
Not if I have anything to say about it, it won't. But no, I love Eternal Diva.
If you've got time to solve puzzles, then run!
Brilliant.
No, it's not. That was terrible. Okay, so yeah, Ambrosia, it's up now. Now what? What are you gonna do with it?
The Azran don't think like that, mate. They just build and let future generations figure this shit out.
No, I'm talking to Descalay. Like, he wanted to bring it up. Here it is. Now what?
I didn't think that far ahead. If I had an actual piano, I could play for you. Oh no, it's getting all sad and too real right now.
It's all this stuff that we already know.
I'm dying. Goodbye. Too real.
Brilliant.
Yeah, there comes a point where you look at Layton characters, and even in like sad and poignant scenes, it looks like they were ripped right out of Sesame Street. Some of them look like Muppets, and I can't take it.
Well, I mean, with eyes like that, I mean, of course Janice does, but...
And a really convoluted plot.
Also, think about this from my perspective, Dad. You're obsessed with me, and that creeps me out.
Just buy the film on DVD, then you'll never forget me.
Come on, Tom. Blu-ray, give it the
Shitting on poignant, but you're right, by the way. Shitting on poignant moments is what I do. I'm just happy that you never inherited my nose.
Right?
That girl's so bored she just fell asleep.
If you look at Herschel's parents, he didn't inherit either of their traits.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I think genes in this universe are just random.
Yeah, it's like a slot machine.
Well, not
Don't you say a goddamn thing, Richy.
Yeah, I will just say...
Shush!
Play Azran Legacy and...
Stop.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, undignified crying much. We are perfectly synced.
This isn't where we are.
Yeah, where are we?
We're in Janice's head, I think.
Why does it look like the British countryside?
Because that's where her mind palace is.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought this was Professor Layton, not Psychonauts.
Well, goodbye, I guess. Oh yeah, Luke had a little bit of a crush on her, I think. Janice, that is, not Melina. Thanks for solving all the puzzles, Herschel. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm not even sure if I teach archaeology anymore. Well, I'm at peace.
So, yeah, does Professor Layton just, like, whenever it's summer or winter break, is that when he does his mystery solving?
I guess. He gets leave from, like, the university or college, if I recall correctly.
Yes, he asks for leave from Gressenheller University. Whenever he needs to go on something or other.
Really, Layton? That's the 5th game this year, mate? She kinda has. Did you not watch that scene? Oh, that would mean, like, everyone who's died is immortal if we remember them.
Well, I mean, it's a nice way of thinking about it all.
Yeah, it's the old adage of immortality is being remembered, I guess.
Grosky's like, oh yeah, I need to arrest this man.
Let me grieve, let me cry into your chest on the way to the police station.
Should he be well, yeah, he did kidnap children. Yeah, he should be arrested.
That's it. Just one. I can't even remember what notes to play. Oh, if only Melina was here.
It's like that bit in Looney Tunes. Da, 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 da. Everything explodes.
Oh yeah, this is my... I've got so many jams. This is the Eternal Diva, isn't it, Richy?
I believe that technically this song might be The Feelings Will Always Be Close, Whistler's theme, but it's pretty much going to go into the Eternal Diva, yeah.
Featuring Whistler. So, were the Ambrosians just people who benefited from the Azran technology or what?
God knows.
I suppose they would have to be.
But yeah, Professor Layton either now or is about to say, they, like... Remember that question where I was like, how does Merlina know the song to the sea? But it's like never explained why she knows it.
Yeah.
Well, now Professor Layton's like saying, just, hinting at the possibility of reincarnation, and that's why Melina would know it.
Of the Ambrosian Queen.
Yes, of the Ambrosian Queen. Yeah.
Okay. I guess it makes sense. I'm heavily hinting, Luke. I'm not saying because I'm a man of science. Oh, those notes.
Also, Luke, let's go to the hospital immediately after this because even though you're conscious right now, you still might be suffering from a concussion.
Yeah, seriously.
Don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep.
We get the typical Layton ending with just like scenes like this, still images, and it's also cute.
Yes, little vignettes.
There we go. So, Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. Stephen, you were our guest for this one, so what was your opinion of the film as a whole, mate?
It's got some holes, but I love it. That's
enough for me, mate. What about you, Richard?
Yeah, I absolutely adore it. It's a really, really excellent video game film adaptation. One of the few that I would say classifies as being excellent. Obviously, it's got flaws, but I would say they're exactly the same flaws as the games have. Mm-hmm. So I can't really criticize them too much.
I guess it's a better adaptation for it.
Yes, exactly. And I just love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments. It's flawed, but really, really charming. And the way they adapt stuff from the games is just, like, totally seamless. And I really enjoy it. Great animation, great, like, original music, as well as the remixes they use. Voice acting is on point, except for, well, you know, like, Emmy and such. But that's a thing that I have to overlook, because the overall package is great. I really hope they do another one. I think they said they were going to, but nothing has come from that, and obviously the Layton series is sort of over now, apart from some things that bear the Layton name but aren't really Layton. And there was supposed to be like a live action movie, but I don't know what's happening with that. But thank you, Smoothies, for joining us. Thank you, Richy, for helping out as well. And we'll see you next month or so for another HellfireComms movie commentary. Bye for now.
See ya.
Merry Christmas.
And a Layton New Year.